Rock Seller Magazine.
Hi, I'm Lisa Loeb, and I have a brand new album out.
I just want to let you know I have a new record out called Run to Me.
Hi, we're Pablo Cruz.
Check out our new single.
I've got new music.
I got a new hip. No. Not that kind of hip.
Contests, giveaways, prizes. Daily free newsletter. Never miss out. Rock music news delivered. rocksellermagazine.com/subscribe.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Arts on the Move podcast. I am your host, Calipso. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a great lineup for you guys today. We have LA radio personality Mark Wallengren joining us today, and 2021 Rock the Valley Battle of the Bands finalists, Eddie and Caitlin from Plastic Culture, and R&B performer Terrell Edwards. It's a great lineup. You don't want to miss it. And I feel like everyone's in such a great mood this week. Why? Because everyone got their stimulus check. I didn't get it. I have already checked on and off and nothing yet. You know what? But did you guys know that more than 90% of Americans are most likely to check the IRS website versus their kids' own school records and their grades? Come on, parents, let's keep it moving. Let's get on up on that. You know what? And also every mechanic right now in America, your total is $1,400. And that includes the oil change and the tire rotation. So beware. So whatever you are spending your stimulus checks, I hope you are enjoying it and don't get too crazy on it. I'm excited because we have our guest with us today.
Hey, Calipso.
Hi, it's Gina Guarino Esco, chair of the board. I have to catch my breath. Such a long title. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you
so
for
much for
being
having
here.
me.
Thank you. You look fabulous today, by the way.
Thank you. I tried.
I love how we color coordinated everything today.
Absolutely.
Look at how cute you look. So you are part of the Valley Cultural Foundation. Please tell us a little bit about what you do, your involvements, and so forth.
Sure. Absolutely. So I am chair of the board. My kids and family say chairwoman of the board because, you always give something to the busiest person, right? So I like to pursue my passion. So shout out to my family for giving me the time out of their time to do that. And part of my passion project is Valley Cultural Foundation. And I was introduced to it in 2012, I want to say, when I was invited by a group, when I first moved to Woodland Hills, because I'm originally from New York.
I can tell that accent. I love it. I didn't know. Oh, does it really, when you're mad?
When I'm mad.
Okay.
If I'm having a drink.
I love
a little cocktail, maybe. But so my girlfriend said to me, let's go to the concert in the park. And I said, I don't know about this concert in the park. Is there a cost? Is there money involved? Let me know how I chip in or whatever. And they were like, no, it's free concert in the park for the community. And then there's free movies in the park. And I'm like, hey, this is great. And all this is free. How does this get paid for?
Mm-hmm. You were curious.
Yeah, I was totally curious. I was like, is it tax dollars? Is it
what's the catch?
Yeah, is it a bond or something? Because I don't know anything. I just moved here. Mm-hmm. So my girlfriend's like, no, it's through private donations and sponsorship. And they really go out of their way to try and get that going for the community. So and at that time it was just, in Warner Center. And now it's evolved outside of Warner Center to North Hollywood. And they're looking at other locations for when we can go live again.
I love it.
But through this whole pandemic, they have really evolved. So Nora Ross is our executive director, and she's really spearheaded the whole process, really, of going online, doing Battle of the Bands, through Arts on the Move, through Concerts on the Couch, because you can't have entertainment in person, right? All these artists, these emerging artists. So even that, the emerging artists bring forth the Battle of the Bands and everything else. They can't get play on the radio. They can't even practice in person. They can't perform live. They're all starving.
Yeah.
My son and his friends are at El Camino Real Charter High School and in Woodland Hills, and they can't perform. They couldn't practice. They've been trying to evolve themselves into this virtual age, and they don't have the classes there. I don't think anybody was prepared for teaching these kids how to put on a production that's virtual. A Zoom sickle, right? So I call it like Zoom sickle, quarantainment, whatever you want to say.
I love that term, quarantainment.
Well, that was their senior motto for this year, is that's quarantainment. So that's on their senior shirts because they're all graduating.
Oh my!
And it's been so hard for them. So shout out to El Camino Real Charter High School, my family, Keith, Sarah, Josh, Justin, and my brother John, who give me the time out of their time so I can donate it. And I like to give back. So part of my passion is giving back to the community. I try to teach them that, and that's what we do. So we just try to evolve.
I know your involvements with Valley Cultural. You've done also in the scenes, right? You were a dancer, weren't you?
I was a dancer. Yes, I was asked by Nora, and I think it was 2015. As part of the community, I used to work for a large real estate developer here, and now I work for a private real estate firm in Century City. It's called Held Properties. Okay. And my boss and his siblings just are tremendous support for me. So they donate money on my behalf to my charities, and they support through the time that they let me have. But yes, I was a dancer. I danced to Blink 182's I Want to Dance Like Uma Thurman.
Oh.
And I was dressed as Lily Munster. Oh. And my partner, Victor, from Arthur Murray Woodland Hills. So shout out to Woodland Hills. Arthur Murray, they donate their dancers to teach each dancer 16 lessons.
So you became a pro after that, right?
I stayed with it. And I still, now we do virtual dance lessons, but it was so awesome for me. It really, people think I'm confident. But I'm scared just like everybody else. So when I wore it, and I just got out there dressed like Lily Munster, and I did my thing. I did swing, and I had the best time, and I still enjoy it. My son dances, so he was helping me learn how to dance, and watching these kids try and apply for colleges through virtual auditions. I mean, this is crazy. My son just had an audition at NYU. How did it go? 5:00 in the morning. Oh, wow. We won't know. We won't know until, April is when they make their decision. But he's gotten into 4 other colleges.
That's awesome.
American Music Dramatic Arts, which is AMDA, which is a local bi-coastal school. So maybe he'll go there.
I love it that our students, our children are still pushing. No matter what's going on, let's get into that school, even if it's virtual, because we teach them those values.
They're even self-funding. Like when the school won't, because they can't legally support them. They self-fund their own projects they can still stay creative.
That's amazing.
So Valley Cultural Foundation, Nora, they help through that whole thing.
I love that. So also what do you want to take away from all of this? Like, what do you want people to remember for, about Valley Cultural? Like what?
I want them to remember that, everybody has their own time, right? Whatever their passion might be, whatever their timing might be, whether it's 10 minutes to go and, make a fundraising call, whether it's like 5 minutes to just, pass around a bucket. I remember when we were in the park at one of the concerts, the team would give out buckets to take donations to help Valley Cultural Foundation.
Okay.
Go to valleycultural.org and check it out. See what they support. See what they do. See if it's your passion. If it's your passion, pursue it. Get involved in your community. Teach your kids to give back. It's important. We all have something to give. Time, money, whatever it may be.
I love that. Thank you so much for just giving back to the community, to Valley Cultural. I can't wait to see what's in store for you with this new, your chair of the seems very like a lot of work to do, but you look like you're just like, I got this.
When you love something, it doesn't matter.
I love that. I love that attitude. That's a great confidence to have. Well, thank you so much. You come back with us anytime, okay?
I will.
Because I can't wait to talk to you again about that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so when we come back, we'll have a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Tim Gaspar with Gaspar Insurance, and we are a proud sponsor of the Valley Cultural Foundation's new Arts on the Move podcast. We love everything that the Valley Cultural Foundation stands for, bringing great music to our San Fernando Valley community. Did you know U2's first U.S. concert was right here in Reseda, and that Bruno Mars was discovered at Pickwick's Pub in Woodland Hills? Amazing. Gaspar Insurance is the leading auto and home insurance agency located right here in the San Fernando Valley. As a listener to this podcast, get a $10 Amazon gift card when you get a quote from us for your auto, home, or earthquake insurance for you and your family. Visit us at gasparinsurance.com and mention this ad when you speak with one of our team members. Thanks for listening. Have a great day and enjoy the podcast.
Westfield Topanga is open with over 200 retailers ready to serve you. Westfield Reward members can earn 2.5% cash back when you shop at any Westfield Topanga and the Village store or restaurant, and up to $750 cash back when shopping luxury. So sign up today and get exclusive access to events, gift with purchases, and more. Visit westfield.com/Topanga or text 818-306-5956 to learn more. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. If you're just barely tuning in, listening right now, or watching wherever you are in parts of the world, you are watching to Arts on the Move podcast. I am your host, Calipso. So now we are moving on to our next guest. I'm excited because he's a coworker of mine. He's a veteran. He is such an amazing person. He's a Los Angeles radio personality. He has a star on the Walk of Fame. I mean, how cooler can you be? Okay, please welcome Mark Wallengren. If you are here on the Zoom, welcome.
Calipso, it is so great to see you. I hope you're well. You look fantastic.
I took a shower for you, Mark.
Well, listen, this is COVID, and that's almost unnecessary these days.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're joining us. You look amazing. Where parts of the states are you in?
Actually, I am in Santa Fe, New Mexico. My mother is 92, and she can't really be alone. So and she had a lot of kids. So we take turns coming up. So I'm here for a month, and I will tell you, springtime in New Mexico between the sometimes snow, sometimes rain, sometimes wind, but always phenomenal food. It's really great. So I'm a long ways away, right here, instead of right next to you.
Oh, well, so what's the weather like right now? Is it cold or hot?
It's one of those things where we get cool days and cold nights, but we had about 6 inches of snow, melted very, very quickly, and everybody's just kind of getting ready for spring here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you are enjoying yourself, and, can't wait to see you soon someday. Hopefully we get to see each other, person to person. I miss you deeply.
Radio has changed so much. It's like we used to run each other in the halls.
I know.
Now all of a sudden people are doing their job from home, so nobody's seeing anybody anymore. And of course, radio with the pandemic and have gone through incredible challenges, and with the competition from streaming, so on and so forth. It's been tough, and look at you, survivor.
I know, right? Survival mode. So, touching on radio, let's talk about radio, Mark. What's it like being a radio personality in Los Angeles, doing mornings? Tell us a little bit about that.
What I can tell you is being pretty much raised in the OC and LA, when I decided I wanted to get into radio, unlike you, because pretty much now there's no live talent in small markets, then, those that wanted to get into the business had to find other jobs at the radio station. For instance, I know that at one point you were a board op, what we call a board op, when there might have been recorded programming at Coast 103.5. Calipso would come in and she would, learn and train on the dials. But with her, it was always, well, I want to get on the radio. And that's what she's been able to do, which is kind of the new way to, get on and be part of that. I moved from Los Angeles of, 8 million people, LA and Orange County, to a town of 3,000. It was Preston, Idaho, where they filmed Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, wow.
So, working my way into radio station after radio stations, where I always said I made my mistakes early, much like musicians can get on and do bad sets early. And then once all of a sudden you practice and you get better and better, you can get to a place. So the first time I walked into a Los Angeles studio, which was Coast 103.5, sat down and did the show, I could not think about, I am in Los Angeles with possibly 10 million people listening to me. I had to keep it in those four walls. It's the same glass. It's just a different looking microphone. So there's a whole psychological thing that goes on with that. But that, I can tell you, following that is that working in one of the biggest markets in the world in radio is absolutely a thrill that I was blessed enough to be able to do for 35 years.
Wow, your goals. I'm barely at 14. You are definitely
right.
I have a long ways to go, Mark, to catch up to you.
However, the thing is that you have put the 14 in, and as you know, there's a second nature to it, and you're right there. I'm very proud of what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Mark. So moving into when you were working at Coast and the radio stations, you had to meet a lot of people. Famous celebrities, I can name a few. I remember I would see down the halls who was coming down, who got to go, what station got to see them first. The way that radio is going, right now with emerging artists. Okay. So now we're talking about emerging artists, they get, how is it that they get known or,
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's kind of tough. And I'd like to start with a story that goes back to the mid '80s when I first started at Coast 103.5, and one of the first interviews I did. Disney had started making and becoming very popular with their animated features, and so they always wanted a good song for the movie. And there were times where they'd get well-known artists. Other times you just like, well, wow, they're doing an unknown artist. So there was this girl that came in, and I don't think, maybe she was 19 years old, but she came in, and Michael Bolton at the time was one of the biggest stars in the 80s. He was just huge. And so he was opening Hollywood Bowl, and this girl got tapped to be his opening act. And she had this little song that we'd started playing on the radio. She came in and I met her, and I thought, oh, English is a second language for her. Oh, I just hope she does well. And that little girl, that young woman who is a superstar today, was Celine Dion. So it was weird to think, I was meeting her as a teenager. Now, coming back to the emerging artists of today, moving into this new decade where there are a multitude of ways to try to get exposure. What's great about it is that you do have, as an emerging artist or somebody starting, many, many avenues, which you should, take advantage of all of them. To develop a following, be it live music, be it recorded, get out there, promote yourself, know the business, and then just remember that the song is everything. Start there, but make sure you know the business, make sure you're on the Bandcamps, the Spotifys, everything. Expose yourself everywhere, and maybe terrestrial radio will come along, because that's a little bit of a different beast.
It sure is. It's a different whole beast on that. So going into when your journey in radio, anybody help you along the way? That I can't really say. Yes, I could say someone probably helped me with like advice and being a mentor, but anybody help you that really strongly helped you get into radio?
Let me just ask you to clarify the question in the sense of, you mean, was there anybody that I knew in radio that helped open a door, that helped get me into the chair?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't anybody. But I will say, well, listen, I remember when KROQ was a huge radio station, and it was right before they got really, really big in the early 80s. And I called and if you're a little bit older, you'll know this name. I called a guy who was programming KROQ. His name was Shadow Stevens. He programmed it, and I think he was working afternoons. I was a teenager, and I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting into radio. What should I do?" And he said, "Hey, hold on just a second." I thought, oh, he's going to go on the air, and I'm right. And then all of a sudden, I hear that it goes to speakerphone, and he goes, "Hey, ask that question again." And I said, "What should I do to get into radio?" And a whole group of people started laughing in the room. So I thought, it's like, well, I'm not getting any help there. But that being said, my thing was, I met some very, very nice people that were encouraging when I got into radio, but no one was really throwing the door open. What I had to do is the same thing emerging artists and is just practice, get better at what you do. I had to record myself, make sure that they were, better and better sounding. And it's sending stuff out. Even us in radio, this, Calipso, you got to send it out, send it out.
Oh, tremendous. Like so many times. Yes. I got tired of listening to myself. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Mark. Don't go away, because we're going to come back with you after a word from our sponsors.
The Chumash people have stood proud along the California coast for thousands of years. Today, we stand for education. With our tribal youth high school graduation rate at 100%, we stand for giving. As contributors of more than $25 million to the community, we stand for the environment, diverting 90% of our waste stream from landfills. And we stand for wellness, serving 3,000 patients from our health clinic. We are the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians, standing proud with the Valley Cultural Foundation.
Amazon uses a lot of technology, but the real magic is the people.
Jerry, I think it's time for a dance move.
I have great friends that work here. We laugh, we joke, but we also get our job done. We support each other, and we just rock it out. There's so many people coming together to create one goal.
Everybody always wants to make sure you're safe and having fun. Work friends turn into work family.
Hello, and welcome to the Valley Cultural Foundation's Arts on the Move event. I'm Congressman Brad Sherman from America's best name city, Sherman Oaks. If you or someone you know is having trouble dealing with any federal agency, perhaps a stimulus payment or difficulty with a PPP loan for small business, call my constituent services office at 818-501-9200. My staff works very hard, they'll solve your problem, and then I, Brad Sherman, take the credit. I think that's a great system. Again, our number is 818-501-9200. I'm Congressman Brad Sherman.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us. If you're just barely coming on in, this is Arts on the Move podcast. We are sitting with my good friend, Mark Wallengren, who's, checking in. Mark, you're such a goofy guy. I can see why people are listening to you, just to to take the worries of your day. I've tuned into your show when I had to be done off my shift, and just listening to you, you're just a breath of fresh air. Your attitude.
Yeah, I was going to say when you were 12 years old.
No, I literally, I've been at iHeart for a couple of years, and I remember, when you're working for a company, you got to know who's who, what's doing what, and what, what I mean? And I absolutely love coming home and listening to you. And I remember your producer, Maggie. You're so funny. You're such a cool dad. You're such a cool dad.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment, and I'm lucky to have 4 kids who have given me plenty of training. And you touched on, did anybody help you in radio before? And the fact is that I've made it a point to to try to be really good and kind and helpful and encouraging to younger broadcasters. I wish that I would have had more, and I'm not resentful for it at all, but I think it is important. And listen, if you're trying to get into the entertainment business, and I've said this before, if you've listened, and that is, be nice to the people on the way up, because you're going to see them on the way down.
That's a great advice. Thank you so much, Mark. So now we're going to talk to one of our finalists from the Battle of the Pans 2021. Okay, we have on our screen joining us on Zoom, we have Terrell Edwards. If you are there, hello. Mark, Terrell,
hey.
Hello. How are you?
So how are you doing?
Good.
All right, I'm
thank
doing
you.
great. How about you?
Good.
I got to tell you, having met Terrell on a couple of other occasions, and especially with the Christmas project with the Valley Arts, he wrote just some great Christmas songs, real moving. And on this brand new album, Rock the Valley 2021, which we're going to talk about, with all these emerging artists and winners of Battle of the Bands, of which Terrell is one. It's been amazing to just watch your growth, even just in 4 months. And I've said to you before, the key to it is songwriting, and your songwriting gets better and better almost with every record.
Oh, thanks, Mark. I really appreciate that. You know what? I was listening to you guys' interview, and you're absolutely right. I mean, this whole COVID type of whirlwind we're in has, allowed us to, kind of go back in the toolbox and get some things that we hadn't done. I've made a really good career doing live shows, and I haven't been able to do that this year. But I've always written songs, and it's just allowed me to just get better at it and actually pull from some emotions that I was dealing with, some relationship stuff that I saw, through some other friends, and it just turned out into some really good music. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
Experiences are always the best teachers, right? That's what I gotta say.
Absolutely.
I also, think like your song "Angel," which is just phenomenal. And I know that every songwriter, especially, in your case, you're always looking for that song that's going to touch and transcend generations. And we're always looking for a song that would be generational. And I think that you're right there. I really do.
That song, and it's inspired again by some things I've always wanted to do. Sometimes you get a little busy and you say, I want to do that, and you never get a chance to do it. I've always been a fan of those iconic wedding songs, those iconic love songs, and I said, man, I'd really want to write a great love song, one that can be used for weddings, that people can listen back 20 years ago and say, well, we danced to that, and then our kids and our grandkids can dance to it. So, I got some really good friends of mine that they're so in love. They've been in love for 10, 15 years. It's like they just got married, and I wrote about their, I'm single, so I'm still looking, but I wrote about them, and it worked out. So.
Terrell, what made you actually know that music was going to be your chosen career?
I'd say probably 20 years ago, I was a little kid, and my dad was, he was directing choirs, and, I just watch him, and I'd be in awe at how he would just, motivate people through song. And not only that, he worked these choirs, and these great harmonies would come together. I was like, man, I want to do that, so, my dad was my first inspiration. But then, there's so much great music out there that, the Marvin Gaye's of the world, and Sam Cooke way back, and, then you got Luther Vandross, and, those are some people that really helped me to pull my vocal, type together, and what I call my own. I kind of Terrellerize things. So, but really, what I've done, I've stolen from a lot of the legends, some of the better things, and just try to be a student of the game.
Well, and I think that you've really done that well. And the fact of the matter is that you look at probably the biggest R&B artist in the world right now is The Weeknd, phenomenal. But music kind of transition and goes, and R&B, and of course, hip hop is the biggest, basically,
it is,
in the world. But yet this R&B genre really seems to be going back again mainstream. So you hang around long enough, it'll come back again.
That's right. I mean, listen, just if you got a glimpse of the Grammys this past weekend, you see a guy like Bruno Mars who's always kind of stayed, you know, in that vein where he's kind of throwing things back a little bit. And here we are, you know, stuff like the Spinners and, you know, the Temptations, you know, he was kind of going right back there. And that's really what I've done. I've always loved that type of music and, you know, little dance steps here and there. And, you know what, you know, just a great song. Like you said earlier, a great song just never goes away.
Wow, that's amazing. So Terrell, tell us a little bit about the song that you're going to introduce us. I heard it. I love it. I don't know if you've listened to it, Mark, but please tell us a little bit about the song and then we'll go to commercials after it.
Well, you know, I alluded to it a little bit, but you know, love is endless. I mean, it's one of those things that we all want to experience. And we may have our own spin on it, but you know, when it comes down to a couple walking down that aisle and saying, you know, I want you to be my partner forever, you know, I think you know, you it's something you want to look across, you want to look over and say, baby, you're my angel. And so that's basically what I wrote. That's basically the song I wrote. And
he's talking to the lady.
A friend of mine, just, you know.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us, and go ahead and introduce your song.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching Arts on the Move. And this is my song, Angel. Hope you enjoy it.
It only took that minute to realize you were the one for me. 'Cause as we grew closer, it happened naturally. Yeah. Now I know love before, but never experience, especially could be, and that I could find my very own angel for life. Oh yeah, a lover and a friend is what a man always hope for. Make no mistake about it, baby. I know that I found it in you. Oh, don't know what I've done, what I've ever done. I ever decided to bless me so, and that I can have my very own on earth with my angel for life. Oh yes, I have. I found my heaven on earth. My angel for life. We'll be friends and lovers, yeah. Be your man, and you'll be my angel for life.
We have Caitlin. Hi. And we have also is Caitlin and Eddie from Plastic Culture. Welcome to the show. Caitlin, Mark, Terrell, everybody. Welcome.
Thank you guys. Thank
Nice
you so
to meet
much
you.
for having us.
Hey, listen, congratulations on being part of, Battle of the Bands this year. You guys, I think that you really have some important music and people should be following Plastic Culture. You just Google it, you'll find them right away. You can go to YouTube. You can, I'm sure you guys got Instagram stuff. How can we follow you?
Yeah, you could follow us on Instagram at Plastic Culture with 1C. So 1C, Plastic Culture. Same with YouTube. It's official or Plastic Culture Official at YouTube. We have Spotify, everything. If you just type in Plastic Culture Band on Google, all of our stuff will come up.
Website.
We're talking about emerging artists here, and they've been part of the winners of Battle with the Band. But Plastic Culture is also getting airplay in the Los Angeles area and a couple of stations on Alt 98.7. So you're an inspiration to other artists that are thinking, how can I get on regular radio? How did you do that?
Yeah, it is such a mission to do that, especially for DIY artists like us. We do everything ourselves, so we play our own manager. I've been through so many DJ hosts that I would send our stuff to, but they wouldn't listen or they wouldn't see it. So luckily, I just found the host, Lisa Warden, on Instagram, and I just decided to hit her up, send our stuff in, and luckily she listened, she liked it, and she aired it.
Consistency, honestly, you just got to stay on top of it. You got to network.
No matter how many no's you get, no matter how many no's you get, just keep asking. Somebody will say yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can you discuss a little bit about, the Battle of the Bands competition, from like start to finish? Like, I know it must have been very anticipating for you. Give us your thoughts on it.
It was a lot of fun, honestly. We found out about Valley Cultural through another radio, KLOS, and with them, they used to have Fraser Smith on late night, and we said, hey, you know what? They're doing some really interesting things. We wanted to be a part of that. At the time, COVID hit and like nothing was going on, so we just emailed and kept in touch, and thankfully we got picked up and we were able to participate in the Battle of the Bands, and it was really fun.
It was a great ride. It was really, really fun. The artists a part of the all the rounds were amazing artists too, emerging just like us, and great music. It was just really fun to be a part of that, and just to see the other acts there too, and just to have our fans and family vote and all that. It was a fun experience.
And it's what's interesting to me on this album that we're going to talk about, which has been released today, and we'd love for you to pick it up and download it and make a donation. There are so many genres of music, and I got to tell you, every song is great, including yours. And I think it's very important. Sometimes bands feel this incredible competition, and when really songs are songs, and so many of them stand out and are different. And what's better or not is such an individual matter. But the fact of the matter is, all emerging artists need to be doing the same kind of exercises in order to get out there and become exposed. And if you don't like another band because whatever the problem, don't focus on that way. You guys should be talking together, how you do this, what works for you, and you'll eventually all come out winners and at least more educated in the business.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We like you said, it's kind of hard to find some bands out there that will look past the whole getting a little jealous. There's a little jealousy, but we're all about just, finding other emerging artists like we got to with this Battle of the Bands, and just supporting, checking out their music, downloading their stuff, streaming it, and just trying to become fans of them, and hopefully they can become fans of Plastic Culture.
Yeah,
We're just all supporting. We just want to all support each other.
If possible, we want to create some type of like channel for other people with great music to come up as well, because I think that now more than ever it's really needed. It feels like it's hard, it's nearly impossible to get on the radio.
It almost feels like there's like gatekeepers, kind of keeping away the new emerging artists, and just all the original, just all the legendaries.
Those gatekeepers are monsters. Like monsters.
How did Plastic Culture start? Like, where did you guys meet?
I'll let her take it.
Yeah, me and him, we met. It's a funny story. You know, I was playing in a cover band, and it was a side project. It was just for fun. And I was looking for another guitarist, and he came through. My drummer put up a CL ad for the cover band and asking for a guitarist and all that. And he came through, we jammed. I loved the vibe. I thought he was really good. And I told him about my project and what I'm doing, and he was totally down for it. And we just started jamming out, and it just clicked. And that was like 5 years ago. And
5 years ago.
Jamming ever since.
And we just, from then on, just set up goals, you know, hey, so like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to record these songs. We're going to get them as professionally recorded as possible. We're going to work on them. Then we're going to find who to talk to. We're going to like find out organizations to work with.
Yeah, not just put them out. We wanted to put them out and do something with it. We don't, because, you know, everybody could just put out songs, but then nothing happens with the song, you know? So we wanted to put it out and have a plan behind that song, each single, you know?
Yeah. So this is Eddie and Caitlin from Plastic Culture, and really a unique band that brings in all kinds of instruments and so on and so forth. Which song are we playing from you? Because we want to watch the video and tell us about this song.
Yeah, I don't know. What song are we playing today?
I believe it's So Much Stress.
It's Power.
Yes,
I love Power of Love. Power of Love, I believe. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Tell us about Power of Love.
Tell us the story of this song, because I know this is really happening for you guys right now.
Yeah.
Power of Love, this song was also written when I was a little bit younger, and it was just kind of about, it's just mainly about being in a relationship or messing around with somebody that you maybe know you shouldn't be with, but you can't help it, and you're just all about them, and you can't help but go to them. They got the power of love, you know what I mean? There's something magnetism about them, and you just want to go to them, even though they might not be that great for you. So that's kind of what the song is about.
All right, well then go ahead and introduce the song.
Okay,
well,
this is Power of Love by Plastic Culture, and we hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us. That was Battle of the Bands finalists, Plastic Culture, joining us, and we just saw their video. I really was digging to. Mark, were you like kind of dancing in the background? You know.
Listen, I got to tell you, having followed him since this Battle of the Bands, and I'm going to be following him. I love the variety because there was an R&B kind of a feel with that song. Yet other stuff, it's full blown reggae. Other stuff, it's rock. Mm-hmm. They'll bring trombones into recordings. What I love about that is it really creates just kind of you know what they are? They're lane wanderers. They go everywhere. And so every song is a surprise and always something wonderful. So really, really proud of what you guys are doing. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It means a lot. Thank you so much.
And let me just say, because we've brought this up a couple times before, now you can literally own some of their music along with Terrell, who's joining us again. Rock of the Valley, Battle of the Bands is now a CD, and you can listen to it. Listen, here's what you do, because I made a donation. I think you should make a donation too. I promise you, there's not one song on this album that you won't say, what? Why haven't heard of these people? What? This is good. What? And it's $5. I'd go a lot more than that. But it's $5. Go to valleycultural.org. Click on the concerts and events. You'll see Rock the Valley 21. You can listen to it before you buy it, but I guarantee you for the what? How many songs are there, Calipso, on this album? There's like 12?
25, about 12? 15.
For $5?
15. About 15 songs, I believe. Yeah.
Insane value, and you're getting really great talent. We watched the video of Angel from Terrell. That's on there. Plastic Culture. There's 2 songs, Plastic Culture, I think, on that album, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Look at you, double build. I like that. Anyway, and really some alternative country. There's a little bit of everything. Go to valleycultural.org. Click on the events. You'll see it right there.
And really quick, anything with our finalists, Terrell, anything you want to say to your fans, anybody listening?
Well, you know what? I first of all, I say thanks for just being a part of Valley Cultural Foundation. If you can support, please do that. But absolutely, we would love, all of us, even Plastic Culture. I guess you guys would echo this, that we would love for you guys to just support our music. This is what we do. It's our passion. In a lot of cases, it's what we live for. So, you just do it.
The Valley Cultural Foundation has been able to, make us aware of these artists. And so we got to keep these programs going so we can continue to support these artists and find some other. Terrell, I just want to, again, compliment you on Angel. Just the opening harmonies. It was mind-blowing. It just sounded like, and here's the thing, because I think that at some point we need to really touch on emerging artists, especially if you're, trying to get into the business, what you do. What you heard with Terrell and what you've seen with Plastic Culture are the quality of recordings, and you need to work on that. And it's amazing you can be able to do it on laptops. So learn Pro Tools, learn Ableton, learn any of those things. Get it in your wheelhouse. It's your job. If you want to take music seriously and make this happen, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You're going to want to do it. And you know why? Because you love making music. But don't ignore that kind of stuff. And Terrell, the recordings that you've done over the many years, I mean, it's like you're playing with the big boys. How do you do it?
Well, like I said, be a student of the game. I would also say this. There's a lot of what we call overnight success. I don't know that there's many of those. I mean, like for me, it's just been one step in front of the other. Plastic Culture said it. You just gotta be consistent. You gotta believe in yourself and just be thankful for the little lessons. If you might get one step back, but if you keep going, you'll get 2 or 3 steps forward. Next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain. So.
Yeah.
I haven't made it there yet, but I'm one step in front of the other.
I love it. And Plastic Culture.
Calipso, Yeah, and you can even attest to this too. Calipso, getting into radio, I mean, don't you have to be your biggest fan, and you've got to have that basic foundation that you got to believe in yourself?
Yes, of course. And what Terrell was saying, you have to remain a student always remain a student, keep going. And what Plastic Culture said, keep going, keep doing it, keep pushing. I love it. We got some good nuggets today, didn't we?
Absolutely. And, again, I think we've talked about working hard, about kind of, staying in a lane. And despite what popular culture would be, if you want to chase that, that's fine. But if it's not where your heart is, you gotta respond and be pleased with the work that you're doing. So stay there, because sometimes it takes a longer time for other people to catch up with you, so always do that. Invest in yourself. I know it's expensive, it's hard. Invest in yourself. Make sure you've got the right gear. Make the sacrifices to make sure you've got the right instruments, and then also it's about making a plan. Ed Sheeran, and I've been lucky enough to meet him and interview him, and he always talked about, I had a 5-year plan at always. Wow. Everything was a 5-year plan. I want to do an EP. I have to do these songs. I have to be happy with 5 songs, right? And it was just this thing that slowly or surely, he did it. And so you got to have a game plan and work smart. Make sure you surround yourself with the right people. If it's somebody who's wasting your time, don't, because you don't have time to waste. Surround yourself with good people. And if there's somebody that you really kind of like, but they've never had experience being a manager of a band or whatever, ask them, because there's lots of stories of guys that had no experience become some of the biggest managers in the music business. So, work smart, surround yourself with the right people.
Great advice, Mark. Definitely.
And completely agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. And we're about to say goodbye, Mark. I know you have some last words to say.
No, don't go.
Oh.
I want to listen. I'm so glad to meet you guys, and I will be following you guys. And I just have to say again, if you're one of the artists that were lucky enough and talented enough to make it on this Battle of the Bands, it's Rock the Valley 2021 Battle. Look at me. What do you
Battle
think
of the Bands. I got you.
What?
2021 Rock the Valley Battle of the Bands. Ah!
No, I'm kidding.
Already,
but
huh?
The point is
Valley Battle of the Bands.
Every single one of these artists, and what Nora Ross and everybody at Valley Cultural have put together, is, I think, an incredible album with and beautifully arranged, because it's all about placement as you go down and you set a mood, and everything is just perfect. You've got to go to valleycultural.org, click on the concerts events, read about it, get this CD, own it, and I swear to God, you're going to fall in love with every single one of these artists. And when we're finally able to go back and see live music, we're going to make sure we're filling wherever you guys are playing.
Love it. Thank you guys so
much. Oh, that's great.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, definitely. We agree. Honestly,
we love to hear that.
Renaissance of live music again, just because everybody's been pent up in the house, and people miss live music. They miss shows. They miss entertainment. So I think we're gonna see a lot of great things happen in the entertainment industry and the music industry.
I agree. Looking forward to doing a collaboration with you guys.
Ooh, something's marinating.
Music, we love.
Look at this. What's happening right here, right now? We've got our next album. Let's go.
We're witnessing this right now.
I could see a Rock the Valley festival, and once everything all happens, we get out there to Woodland Hills over at the Warner Center, and get a bunch of you guys to play, out in the park where anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 people back in the day would be. I used to introduce some of the acts that were out there. Just a fantastic program. So listen, congratulations. Buy the CD.
Yes.
Buy it. Please. And follow these artists.
Thank you, guys.
Cultural.
Thank you. Mark, a little bit of word about the Get Together Foundation. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, I would like to talk about the Get Together Foundation, because this is another thing that's actually going on this coming Saturday. And, you know, with COVID going on, they're presenting All Together Now LA 2. And the thing about it, it's an online concert event and telethon that's going to be helping LA with coronavirus relief. And, you know, I know that, you know, they talk about the stimulus check, so on and so forth. But, you know, hey, thanks for the $1,400. And we're all grateful for it. But this is a year. Is $1,400 enough? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we need more.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what's so important about this this event. It starts at 3:00, and all you have to do is just remember the site alltogethernowla.org, and you just click on the Watch It Live button. You don't miss it. 100% of the proceeds help those in need throughout Los Angeles, and there are a lot of us. There are a lot of us. I mean, think about parents that, you know, are struggling just to feed their kids. And there's a lot of those here in LA. It's an expensive place to live. So please go to alltogethernowla.org this Saturday at 3:00 and help out the Get Together Foundation. And Get Together Foundation, thank you. They distribute money to all kinds of relief programs, and we're so grateful for that.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's been a pleasure hosting this awesome podcast with you. I know it's not the last time. Okay, you take care. All of you take care. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So April
Thank you, Clico.
Thank you. April is National Poetry Month, and the guest on April 1st will be Stefan Kalinch. Ooh, I love how I said that. And the Get Lit Foundation, actually Mason Grainer, the manager of public outreach, and emerging artists. Stay tuned for that. I am your host, Calipso, and we'll see you next time.
We have husbands and wives that work together, daughters and mothers that work together, and we feel like a family together.
You driving home, right? Don't always. My name is Deontay, and I work with my fiance, Tiara. It's just fun to work with my best friend.
My daughter. We rely on everybody else. It's like a big, huge family. I'm very thankful to have that. Love ya.
Love you. The type of relationships that you create make you come in with a smile on your face.